Hey, tubers. Bart coming at you. Mail day. Got some good stuff. Um, two notes first, though. First, previous video is a VR response from Mike Moynihan. Awesome topic. So recommend folks not only check out those videos that folks are doing for response, but I don't know, I'm getting some good people are giving out good responses and stuff like that. So maybe do one yourself, right? I got to throw two more things on my list from my previous video just because James Elite Hunters threw them out there and I missed them. One was thinking so highly of your card that when you sell it for a graded card price, even though it has not been sent in for grading or anything like that. Dislike that. If you think it's that, then, send it in. If not, then the risk is transferred to the buyer of that ungraded card, and so you don't get to transfer cost and risk to the buyer at the same time. That just doesn't work out. And then I do have a significant pet peeve for the PSA holders that have the card floating in space there. I don't know why they do it. It doesn't make a whole lot of rhyme or reason which cards they do it to. You can clearly find cards of the same set that aren't in holders like that. They're in the frosted, well-contained spots, and then sometimes they're just free-floating. And it's enough of a pet peeve for me that I legitimately avoid purchasing those cards or bidding on those cards. It's happened once or twice just because of the card itself. I was willing to, if I get this for a good deal type of thing, but legit pet peeve there. And then second thing, my July submission with the $18 card at PSA, which is now as of today or yesterday the new special price or whatever like that. But at the time it was just the National Convention special. I sent in 2 orders, a more ultra modern order or whatever, 161 cards. Grades popped today. I am super happy with those grades. They probably gave me the benefit of the doubt on a couple of those, which I'm very happy for. But overall, just great grades and stuff like that. Yeah, I was probably fairly selective on some. Some I remembered as soon as I saw the grade. Yeah, it wasn't that selective. But anytime I send a bulk submission or something, I get like this Rogue 5. I got one Rogue 6 and probably a head scratcher 7, but the rest were very few 8s and then all 9s and 10s, which is really awesome. And so yeah, real excited about that. So that should be the next video that you see from me. And I'll be prepping my next sub because they're back to 18 bucks. So that's a price point I'm willing to undertake. It does make me screen my cards pretty good. And I don't send as much peripheral stuff. And I try to go a little bit more mainline PC, or I don't say flip, but there's certain stuff I'll send in knowing it should grade well, but not sure how important it is to me type of thing. And so I wait until I get it in hand, get it slapped up, and it's like, all right, is this something that I do want in a PC? And there's a time coefficient that goes along with that as well, right? Your collecting habits change over time, and all of a sudden, sometimes you're like, yeah, I am going in that direction, so I'll have this. Or no, I'm not going in that direction anymore. Especially when you're waiting a year, right? Like what you were looking for a year later when you get the grades back was different sometimes. So sometimes you'll flip those. So I'll have to make some decisions there. Like I sent some Juan Soto's in, but right before the trade deadline, etc. But all first world problems, and I'm excited to have them. So on to the pickups. I got a couple of these to show actually. So Bowman's Best 97 Atomic Refractor, Jerry Rice. When I was collecting Jerry, I still do, but I've been collecting him my whole life. He's my largest PC, I should say. I don't know if he's still, I don't know if he's the preponderance of value and or money spent in the collection at this point, but it's up there with 1,400 some slab cards and things like that. But a lot of times, unless it was a deal, I was going for quantity and quality, but a lot of the quality was in the PSA grade as opposed to the quality of what it was as a raw card and what it meant as a card, ungraded, you know, rarity, popularity, things like that. So I hadn't picked those up, and then when I finally started pivoting towards some of those things as the collection got so big, it's like, all right, well, let's make some finer purchases for the Rise PC and stuff like that. These had kind of shot up in value, but they're coming back down, and I got puts in some offers and some good bids. And once you kind of, that first domino falls, others do. So I got 2 of them actually, because I wanted to make sure if I'm going to do this, I'm going to get one, I'm going to send them both in, and I'm going to, you know, best one graded or whatever. I'm already hoping that this one grades better, because one of them is just significantly more colorful than the other one as far as his jersey and everything else like that. But for 97 Bowman's Best, these best cuts, these are super die cut. If you are looking to buy these with one of your PC players, the real place that you're going to want to look is back here on all these, because these are actual little die cut outs, these little slashes and things like that. The most significant spot is this little point right here at the bottom of the, what is the B on the front for the best cut. This little sliver gets easily bent. I've seen them hooked going the other direction and stuff like that. It's just a very easy point for damage. And so honestly, I think that's the best guidance I can give if you're looking at those, is to see what the condition of that is. Like this one, you can see that little bit of white there. You can see little bits of white throughout here, and that's just manufacturing process, these little pieces in here. Because obviously whatever they were using to cut that is a tough cut to make, and tiny on a thin piece of, I don't even know if I'd call that cardboard, right? Because there's so much chromium-ish stuff there or whatever. But and fortunate enough for me, the one that looks like it has the worst of the 2 little B points is the not as well colored one. So look forward to seeing what those do. And again, when the dominoes fall, you start going that route. So I also picked up this already graded one from 97 Bowman's Best, the previews, and that is a beautiful card, PSA 9. And I'm real happy to get the 9s on these, because picking up a 10, you know, it's just, it comes with an extra premium that I don't necessarily need as a PC collector, but 9 means you got a quality one as opposed to an 8. I just hate the number 8 for some reason. If I'm not getting a 9, I almost prefer getting a 7, and I save a ton of money and it looks the same as an 8. Pick up from Card Suit, B. Roth. He posted some pickups from a card show recently, and I saw this sitting in the pile, and you could kind of only just see this, or, you know, I don't know, maybe like this or something in the pile or whatever, but just based on the, you know, 2/3 border I could see, it looked centered. So I said, hey, is that thing centered? And he said, yep. And I said, I'm interested. And he shot me a fair price, and it showed up. It is, you know, it's very well creased, but they are not overly significant creases, if that makes sense. There's one going across here, there's another one breaks off here. You can see some of the roughage and probably, you know, crease-ish, but it's like creases that kind of broke the surface, but don't do all that well to penetrate the whole card, or, you know, distort the image all that well, which is nice, which means it's a well-loved collector type card, but you can't beat that centering, and the color is still fantastic. So pretty excited about that one. Let's see, I got all 4 of these in at the same time, so that's good. Pick these up. I wanted to look up so I could express some of his stats, but I was watching Xavian Howard from the Dolphins, and I thought he was a worthy prospect to a certain degree to pick up, but without a Prism card, kind of had to figure out which one was his best rookie. and he only had about 4 or 5 of them, so I got 4 of them. Whatever the ones I didn't end up picking up were not sets that are ever traditionally chosen in the PSA registry as a primary rookie for a person. So Xavian Howard, he's been in since 2016, 3-time Pro Bowler, got a first team and a second team All-Pro on his track record, and twice has led the NFL in interceptions in seasons, which is pretty significant. 27 interceptions in his career so far, and so you're talking 5 years, better than 5 interceptions a year. No, that's 6 seasons, but and doing well this year. I think he's got some injury time already this year, but still a top corner. It is not the last, I don't know, 20 years, to be honest with you, have not been great for corners as far as statistics, consistency, and things like that. So even safeties are that way. DBs as a whole. So where normally you would look for 5, 6 Pro Bowls and stuff, you don't really need to look for that for them. They need to have still some numbers, but not the numbers that you would expect to see from previous Hall of Famers and things. If they can do well enough to get on like your all-decade team and things like that, then it will bode well for Hall of Fame looks, because we're not going to go 20 years without electing a cornerback to the NFL or to the Hall of Fame. It's just not going to happen, right? Who was the best at their position at the time? And this is one of those folks that has that argument. So Xavian Howard from the Dolphins there. I had just been picking up some Super Bowl stuff. You saw tickets recently, and finally saw one of these at a cheap pickup, $9 or something like that. So I got the Roger Craig. Let me look at the year on this. These are 1999 Fleer. It's kind of like the Sports Illustrated magazine, so I have the magazine that matches that already up on a wall. So I just thought that was cool. Nice little piece to go with the Super Bowl ticket in that magazine. Real happy to show this one off. I have bid on this card probably 100 times. Might be conservative there. Been bidding on it forever. Wanted a decent one, but also wanted a good deal, to be honest with you. As we always do, don't we? And so it finally worked out. First ballot Hall of Famer, 1966, Jim Palmer in a PSA 6. Fresh Lighthouse label. Pretty good centering. Off left to right there. But nothing crazy. And very sharp looking card. And, that little bit of centering, and, I don't know, probably saved me $50-$60. So, I think the auction just ended at a little bit different time than normal, so that always helps sometimes. So real happy to have that one. Jim Palmer, I grew up seeing him on everything. He was already retired by the time I was watching baseball and stuff, but I'm from Maryland, D.C. area. Nationals didn't exist back then, so the Orioles were the only thing around, and this guy was on every commercial. Hey, Jim Palmer for the money store, Jim Palmer for, whatever car dealership, et cetera, et cetera. He just was on everything. So well-known guy in that area. So I kind of identify a little bit extra with him. So these go for a little bit more than you would think sometimes for 66s. But was patient enough and finally got one for a good price, and I'm very happy with it. Picked up just got a good deal on this. So Grant Hill, rookie from Finest. That's his primary rookie there. Good looking set. Jason Kidd, and I think somebody else has their key rookie in that year as well. This is an upgrade. Go figure. I had I graded an 8 on my own a couple years ago, but even before that, I'd been always looking for this card. I'd seen a couple of 10s. It's a low pop thing. I think the 10s are probably pop 30 or 40 maybe. But I could never get myself, even before the blow up, to spend $600-$700 on a big fat guy. I should have, because he's one of the best tackles there ever was. But I just never brought myself to it when I had other priority pickups to get in my eyes. And then I got that 8, and then all along, I just basically never saw a 9. Because if I'd have gotten a 9 for a good deal along the way, I'd have never even thought twice about picking up a 10. But the 10s were, you know, I thought about it because I was never finding 9s. Finally saw a 9 at auction. I'm talking, they just don't come up that often. It's weird. But go figure, one just got listed again this week too. So those are coming out of hiding from wherever they've been. But happy to have that upgrade. Because again, I don't like 8s and a relatively modern 8 from the 80s. I wasn't looking for there on a rookie. Check this thing out. Crazy shine. And this was kind of a dominoes tipping type of thing too. So Dwight Freeney, in my eyes, future Hall of Famer. These are refractor rookies, but that was the standard for the rookie back in '02. And why I say dominoes falling, because I'm in a, sorry, there's something on there that's not on the card. I got this from Elite Code 3. He had this listed for a good price. You know, great looking card, just a little off center, top to bottom there, but beautiful 9. And when this came up at auction right at the same time frame, I was like, all right, well, I'm due to pick those up. It'd be nice to have 2 of them, you know, kill 2 of those needs with one foul swoop. So that's what I did. And you'll see I redid the cases. You can't see all of them. Obviously, they go around this wall, but they're all football right now. Obviously, I'm in a football state of mind, but I like to put up stuff where I'm collecting right now, but then also leave holes in where I'm putting the stuff up. Jeez, they're all leaning forward right now. My kids must have been smashing the hell out of the wall today, but like that Anthony Munoz goes right there in that spot. And I got holes across here representing spots that I'm about to get graded cards back or pickups that I just had or something like that. So it gives me space to work in and kind of a visual, because I like to have I like to see it after I pick it up for a while instead of throwing it in a box. So I kind of resort those things where my focus is. I set it up so I can see them after I pick them up. But need to do a lot of rebuilding for picking up cards that I used to have and no longer have in the PC. So that's where I'm going with that. So you're seeing a lot of football up on the walls. I was kind of looking for something to grade. I picked up 2 of these at $18 a pop. I don't think either one of the 2 that I picked up just like this of Navarro Bowman are quite grade worthy. We'll see where my head's at where I'm subbing, but I try to send things in that they at least have to have a sliver of a chance of a 10. Like, even if I'm like, I don't think I'd probably give it a 10, but I got a stern eye, maybe there's a chance on an oddball day I get it. But if I see a card where I'm just like, there's no friggin' way that thing gets a 10, then I'm already like, well, then if I catch the person on an off day, that's an 8, and I don't want it. So we'll see where my head's at when we're subbing. Picked up the second one of these. These are great trophy collections from Pinnacle 95. Great looking clean card. 75th anniversary patch there on Steve Young. There's our 50th anniversary patch on him from 97 Pinnacle Zenith. Artist proof right there. You see the little artist proof logo. And they look a lot like this past year's Zenith inserts as well. So they did a remake there. And then one more. I think this is it. 2020 Prism Brandon Ayuk, and SP is where it's basically black and white. I had seen one of these, you know, because I'd submitted all of the prisms that I needed or that I thought I needed for the team set and the registry already, and then somebody added this to the registry, you know, just a single slot they added to it. And I was like, I saw that thing scrolling, I don't know how many times, and didn't realize that it was just a base card that was an SP. I assumed it was a variation or something like that. So thankfully I got a sweet deal on that for the price I would have graded it, but I didn't own the raw card. So it saved me money by just picking up this 10 as opposed to buying a raw card for $2 plus shipping, you know, and then mailing it in myself. So thankful to save a couple of bucks on that. But that's what I got for you. I got to get some scan these cards in, so I got to upload them and things like that and get them sorted. But that's what I got. But Again, 161 cards coming back here in the next couple of days from PSA. I am very happy with the grade, so super excited about that. That's all I got for now. I got a 4-day weekend coming up, so pretty excited there too. Thanks for watching. Later.